Good afternoon and welcome to Manchester City 2, West Ham 2, reaction post-match. What a way to end a Sunday afternoon, but I tell you what, the big talking point for me is that first half. Even though, yes, we finished 2-2 and we could have won the game, we cannot let them get away with that first half. Robbie's with us. He'll go into this as well, but that first half was unacceptable. I don't know whether it was nerves. I don't know whether it was a change of system. I don't know whether Pep decided Wolves had nothing to play for on Wednesday. West Ham have got Europe to play for. We just didn't do our normal job. Now, Rob was spot on, and I said it in the watch along so many times. KDB and Bernardo were sat so deep, and the balls we were putting in were high, lofted balls with no pace, no sort of destination on them. They were just a little bit of hit and hope crosses, and when you've got two 6'4" defenders, that ain't gonna work. It never would work. So for me, that first half was something we've not done all season. And to be totally honest, 2-0. I mean, we still had chances in that first half. The statistics were like 2 shots, but you shouldn't be letting our West Ham have 2 shots, 2 goals. I know second half we fought back and we became ourselves, but even that second half, we were giving away chances. Everyone's going on about the Mahrez miss, but everyone's forgot Antonio's had a chance, Bowen's had a chance. West Ham have had chances as well.
A game of 2 halves. I just want to completely separate the first half from the second half, because I mean, like, we've even got Jack in the comments there saying like the second half sort of deserved 3 points. And I've heard all the stuff about being tired and playing the same midfield and all the rest of that sort of stuff. What I don't understand is, we said this at halftime, both me and Martin. In the first half, if you look at the positions, I wish we had a touch map or a heat map, but we're not as sophisticated as Sky Sports. But if we could show you a touch map and a heat map for Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne in the first half, they're playing a hybrid between 6 and 8, and I think it's because I think that there was some sort of prior planning to suggest from Pep Guardiola that he was afraid of the over-the-top ball from West Ham, which that's warranted, because that's literally how they got 2 goals against us. But I think he was trying to play like Liverpool play with a midfield 3 that are literally all just CDMs.
Well, they've got Keita, Fabinho. Who's the other one?
Henderson usually.
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of what Pep was doing, because honestly, like I said, if we had a touch map for De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva in the first half, they were so deep, so deep, and they never play that deep. Like, Bernardo obviously does come back for the ball and sometimes takes it at his feet and pushes forward, but they were both playing like a really reserved role. And I think that Pep planned for that to be the strategy to stop the over-the-top attack, but it actually worked against us, and they did get the 2 goals from the over-the-top attack anyway, because obviously we had a weak defence. But then the night and day of that was in the second half, because like I said, we both argued this in the half-time. The night and day in the second half is the fact that both of them then did go forward for the second half. It's as if it was a cavalier attitude. It was like, right, well, we've conceded those goals that we were just like... We've conceded those goals that we were in there to stop, so obviously that didn't work, so we better attack. And literally, the heat map in their second half, they were both pushed way further forward. And as Martin said as well, instead of doing the floated ball, the floated slow ball, or the wide drill or whatever, they were literally putting balls into the box on the floor, and we got goals out of it. It's completely night and day. Now, the only issue I have with it is, and this is the whole excuse about people being tired or saying players are weak links, or we even had Rich in the WhatsApp blaming Zinchenko for playing him onside, but that's waffle. He did play them onside, but that isn't the reason they got the balls over the top. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're looking at part of the sum, but not seeing the whole picture. When you make statements like that, blaming Zinchenko, you're looking at a tiny part of the equation.
Looking at 20% of it.
Yeah, and not realising that actually the ball over the top comes from a completely different area of the pitch where it's other players' responsibilities to do a job. Anyway, and yeah, the night and day between that in the first half and the second half, I thought Grealish was our better attacking option. Let's separate Grealish, Gabriel Jesus, and Mahrez. Mahrez was completely useless in the first half. Grealish was actually winning fouls and pressing forward, but on a different day, I mean, Gabriel Jesus was doing things in their penalty area similar to what he was doing against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and he actually got a goal at Stamford Bridge, if you remember, doing something very similar. It just didn't come off from him in that first half. But other than that, very, very slow, too slow in the first half, too slow. And the too slow probably does come from tiredness. But the thing I said to you, Martin, at half-time, once I finally got it out of you, was, this is Crystal Palace. Now, ultimately, it was a Crystal Palace where we did get back into the game. We drew it level. But to have a tired starting 11 and a tired squad, but then not to utilise substitutions for 10, 15 minutes, you're talking Foden, Sterling.
Aki even.
That seems almost criminal to me. I'm convinced. I mean, I know that ultimately Riyad Mahrez, that was one of the worst penalties I've ever seen. Almost as bad as his penalty at Anfield, by the way. And I was at Anfield that day. And
so was I.
I wanted to murder him at Anfield that day, and I don't think he ever should have had to. I don't think he should have ever been allowed to take a pressure penalty for City again. Yes, I know that he scored some in between then and now, but you've got Kevin De Bruyne on the pitch, who has literally dragged us over the line in so many big games. So much so that I've put him as the centrepiece to the backdrop of the new channel layout. And that's heavy praise from me, because Martin knows how critical I am of Kevin De Bruyne and all of the players. I do not give out praise sparingly, but I've made him front and centre of the new layout because he's dragged us over the line in so many games. Put Kevin De Bruyne on that penalty. Or secondly, Mahrez should have gone off on about the 75 minutes to 80 minute mark. Foden should have been on the pitch. Mahrez should never have been taking that penalty. It was an awful decision to allow him to take it. Even Gabby Jesus should have took the bloody penalty. I almost like the system where it's like, you win the penalty, you take the penalty. But I knew as soon as Anthony Taylor went up to that VAR, and as soon as he said penalty, and Riyad Mahrez picked up the ball, I could have just turned my telly off, because I knew that he wasn't scoring it. I just knew. I don't know about you, Martin, but I just knew he wasn't scoring it. I've got no faith in him. He had an awful game. He deserved to be hooked off a lot earlier than he should have. And ultimately, the loss of this game does not fall on Riyad Mahrez's shoulders. Nowhere near. No, sorry, it doesn't.
All Fernandinho's.
It's all over the pitch. All Fernandinho's, or Zinchenko's, or any individual player. It was collectively, it was far too slow and far too reserved in the first half, and not clinical enough in the second half. And even in the second half, you made this observation, Martin, in the second half, that there was a 10-15 minute period where we turned it up a gear and started playing the better passes and the better balls and being more clinical.
And then stopped.
So anyway, that's my waffle. Criticise it, all the rest of it, whatever you want, Martin.
Two things. Ball over the top. That's the second time we've not been able to deal with that. What was the first game, Rob, if you remember? Recently. We had the same problem with balls over the top.
We had an issue with it at Liverpool, and we had an issue with it against Tottenham.
Tottenham at home. All their goals were coming down with one big ball. And this is why we always get told about you don't need to defend in a Pep system. People are either going to do two things against Pep Guardiola. They're going to shut up shop, like West Ham did today, and two banks of four, and have their one sole man. And then they're going to do another thing. They're going to ball over the top. Because if you look at our midfield, even it's Ilkay Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Rodri, which doesn't do it because he has never been able to do it. His worst attribute is his heading. What would you do against five
Sorry,
foot two
Martin, I have
players?
to interrupt here, but Rodri's worst attribute is that he chose football for a career.
All right. What would you do if your midfield was stuck there with 5'2" players?
I'd aim for the invisible Peter Crouch, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So teams have gone, tell you what, that's how we beat it. Because they ain't going to beat the press on the floor with us. So they bypass the press. And with our makeshift, when you've got a Laporte and a Fernandinho who are not fully fit, you have a Zinchenko who, for all his attributes, has been amazing. If you actually go back through his footballing days, his worst one is obviously the stepping up. And you have Cancelo, who can't read defending anyway. Let's be honest, this is not dragging him out. What would you do? You're going to do that all day long. You're going to play off the shoulder and you're going to make the runs. There's been many games that oppositions have tried that and we've got away with it because the offside trap has worked. When you've got a back line, you have to be solid communication and you step together. Today we have Laporte and Zinchenko who didn't step. You then need your goalkeeper to come in and go bang. Right, I'm going to be your last man wall. Sorry, we had a wall of jelly. It goes through him like blancmange. Ain't no good, that. Ain't no good. So, the goals are the goals. But what we did was, second half, like Rob said, KDB, Bernardo Silva push, and they push up, and they push up. West Ham did their job. They're not going to turn round and let Grealish run. They're not going to let Bernardo and KDB run. So Bowen, take him down. It's what happens. West Ham had chances second half. But the one thing we did, I've always said it, is tempo with Manchester City. When our tempo's flat, our game is flat. You look at the games we've scored in the opening 5 minutes. That's when we go on to rout teams. When we get past that 15, 20 minute, 25 minute mark and we haven't scored, you're in for a game. Because then we don't know, right, hang on, we've lost the tempo, what do we do at this point? And that's where you see the 5-yard sideways passing coming in. And what I'd have done was second half, I'm sorry, Fernandinho was just tired. And you saw that with the mistake for Antonio's lob in the second half. Because he had a look and he went, you could tell he had nothing in the legs left. Nothing. So it was a lazy ball onto Antonio and gone. I'd have brought Ake on, I'd have put Sterling on, and I'd have put Foden on. Because as much as Gabriel Jesus had done, like Rob said, brilliant against Chelsea, I'd have brought Sterling on for that pace and that extra little bit of driving forward. I'd have brought Foden on for Mahrez, maybe a shifted Grealish over to the right to come in on the left and put Foden to the left. That's why Pep gets paid the amount of money he gets paid. Because they're his jobs. But the penalty is, I've got a question. Does KDB must not like taking penalties? Because if you remember, do you remember Sergio Aguero missed penalties, Rob?
I understand this. I understand that Sergio Aguero missed penalties. But the fact of the matter is, Martin, that Kevin De Bruyne has got mental fortitude. Riyad Mahrez doesn't have mental fortitude.
I don't think KDB does on penalties. I don't think he likes them.
No, he has mental fortitude. I don't care whether he likes them or not. Even if he just fucking hits it at 300 miles an hour straight down the middle, it's better than what Mahrez does on penalties. Mahrez showed the other week that he has no mental fortitude when he took a shot at the near post instead of crossing the ball for Foden. I'll hold that against him forever, because that is the real reason, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to the Champions League final, by the way. But the mental fortitude that Kevin De Bruyne possesses, he's shown it in flourishes over the last 3 or 4 weeks. He got us over the line in so many games, and that's the man. Do you remember when Jack, a couple of weeks ago, Jack says this team doesn't have leaders?
Yep.
And everyone sort of ridiculed Jack, but this penalty is sort of that's what he's talking about in some respects. If you've got David Silva or Company or Aguero or Yaya on the Yaya Toure, you'd put your fucking mortgage. If Yaya Toure was on the pitch today, you'd put your mortgage on him. taking the back of the net off. Now, I don't want to be critical of this team because we're on 90 points and we're nearly over the line for a Premier League. So I'm not digging the team out. I'm not. We've got such a tiny squad, and we've got 90 points in the Premier League. That's an incredible achievement. Incredible achievement. But maybe there just is that little bit missing. Maybe there just is that little bit missing. And you know what? Haaland might come next season and be awful at penalties. He might have no bottle for it. But there's that. The key difference between a Royal Marine Commando or a paratrooper and an SAS member is 5% mentality, 10% mentality. And maybe we just missed that attack. Maybe there's like 1 or 2% missing on that killer. Go back to the United team
under
Ferguson.
Yeah,
with Rooney. Rooney was fucking ruthless.
Roy Keane
was ruthless. It started to slip towards the end because I remember that Berbatov miss at Wembley in the semi-final of the FA Cup. That was one of the major death knells for Alex Ferguson. That the fact that he'd signed Berbatov, who was a good player, but he wasn't lethal. You know, he had Chicharito, not lethal. Rashford, not lethal in the same way that the people who'd come before him were. You know, and I don't want to go on about United, but this team just seems to miss that. It wins titles and it wins big games and it wins trophies, but it has moments where it just exposes the soft underbelly a little bit.
But I think we know that, Rob, and that's why we've said in the past, even recently, haven't we, that we think this team has come. Oh, what does one or two?
I see Kurt the Plastic Cockney there saying too much waffle. You need to respect what the team have achieved. We literally just did. Keep your keyboard in your pants. We
have said for weeks now that some parts of this team has come to its end. We know that. Fernandinho was never ever meant to play the last 3 games of the season. That wasn't the plan. It was never the plan. But we weren't expecting Diaz, Stones and Walker to all disappear out for the last 3 games. So you have to play the cards you dealt with. This will all be addressed by the summer. The one thing I want to go on to, now everyone's worried about the last game of the season. Now, 2 things in this, and people might say I'm happy clapper, whatever, but I didn't realise this. Aston Villa play on Thursday night. Don't know why. I don't know how that's happened. There's 2 or 3 fixtures on Thursday because Everton are playing as well. And they're playing Burnley. And Burnley are in a dogfight. If you think Burnley are going to Villa Park to roll over, then you can forget it. So for me, we've now got a week rest to rest up, get these players fit, see what we can do. And Aston Villa are playing on Thursday night. So for me, quite simply, and that's why I do say we can't beat Villa on Sunday to win this league. We don't deserve it then. Because Villa will be on the beach on Sunday. I know they'll be all, well, Coutinho, Gerrard, and you'll hear it all in the media. You'll hear it from every Liverpool fan because they have to cling to something. They have to. So they'll all be writing to Gerrard, they'll all be tweeting him, they'll all be begging him. They'll be doing everything that we have to do. So I'm sorry, Burnley are going to go to Villa Park on Thursday night and they're going to kick shit out of him and they're going to try the damn hardest. And then 48 hours later, they've got to come to a rocking Etihad. So, and
maybe a bit.
Can I ask a question? An honest question to you all. Let's take everything out for a minute. If we'd have said Wolves and West Ham, you'd have got 4 points out of 6. I think it's just the way it's happened. I don't think we'd all be in panic mode like we are now. If we'd have all said you're getting 4 out of 6, and I'm not trying to be happy clapper. I'm not trying to be happy clapper.
Do you want to know why we're in panic mode? A little bit afraid.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, because we're City fans.
No. Well, yes, there's that. Yes, there's absolutely that. Yeah, But put that to aside a little bit. What do you see? What do you see on Twitter and social media every single day, or TikTok, or whatever
Oh,
else
that
it
they
is?
hate us and they want Liverpool to win the league. And
No,
Aston,
no, even more basic than
Gerrard's
that.
going to twerk and
Yeah, you've seen that as well. What else do you
Coutinho's
see?
going to score.
What else do you see? You see quadruple, quadruple, quadruple.
Yes.
Liverpool have won. Congratulations, by the way, to Liverpool for winning the FA Cup. But Liverpool have won 2 domestic trophies this season without scoring a goal in open play.
This is meant to be the best team in the world.
No, no, hold on. I'm not being dismissive for their achievement. What I'm saying about that is they don't have to be at their best and they still get silverware. And that's frightening. That's frightening because I would argue that in the last 4 or 5 years, apart from that season when United finished 19 points behind us, we've had to be at our best to win silverware. Look at how close the league wins have been. You know, when Liverpool have come second by a point or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We have had to be at our absolute best to secure those titles. And that's what's scary. Liverpool don't have to be at their best to get silverware. And when we're not at our best, a la today, we look ropey as anything, Martin. And that is a worry, and that is going to fray nerves, and that is going to...
Yeah, I get it.
It's going to play on the mind.
But look at it from the other side. We were 2-0 down, and we've come back in and got back.
Absolutely. But the key criticism of that I'll have, Martin, is that we went 2-0 down by betraying everything that we normally do.
By throwing our morals and play out the window.
And we got back to 2-2
by doing what we do. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the key difference on this occasion for me. 2-0 down, 2-0 down by betraying who we are. 2-all, get back to 2-all by remembering who we are. And that's kind of scary as well because you don't want to be bipolar or schizophrenic.
No.
Football team.
No.
Now, and I will argue that for the majority of the season we've not been bipolar, but there has been the odd game where Pep's been a bit bipolar. The Crystal Palace game with no substitutions today, potentially with no substitutions. But whatever, we've got one. We just have to calm it down.
Yes.
And you know what I will say. What I will say is, by the way, I want our guy over their guy for that last day of the season. Pep Guardiola has got my trust completely. Completely. I want my guy over their guy for the last game.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. The thing I look at it, the way I look at it is, let's be honest, we're Manchester City. We wouldn't do it. We always take it to the last day. I remember going in with Pellegrini against West Ham, up against Liverpool, in virtually, and funnily enough, I think Liverpool were playing Wolves that day as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, by the way, anyone. Coincidence or not. At Anfield. Gerrard's last game. But I remember everyone went into the West Ham game really, really sort of edgy and panicky. And we won 2-0. Goals from Nasri and company. And we got an early one from Nasri. And it sort of calmed it all down. And I get it. But you just said then, was it Newcastle? They played Wolves on one of the last games, and I can't remember when it was, Jack. I know they definitely have played Wolves on the last day. Brighton, that was it, the Brighton game, when we played Wolves at home. Anyway, exactly. Do you remember the Brighton game, Rob? When you went down to Brighton in that last game, and Liverpool were at home to Wolves, did you have the same nerves?
I was paralytic.
All right, then. I remember going to the game, and I remember shitting myself the whole game. Do you remember?
I probably did shit myself.
Do you remember when Wolves went 1-up, and they were all cheering at Anfield, and it was all
strangely, the guy that got us back into it that day was Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah.
And strangely, Riyad Mahrez got us back into it that day because he'd made a mistake the week before.
I'm just saying. I'm going to be honest with you. If we are in a situation where we end up not beating Aston Villa at home on the last day, and it's not even being arrogant, this is just being plain factual now. If we cannot beat a Villa team with nothing to play for, we're playing 48 hours against a Burnley team, trying their bollocks off, then I'm sorry. Then Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah, I think I'm with Scotty Moll for Sunday. By the way, I'm just gonna go for a long walk. You know
Not for
what the
short
real.
beer.
Well, I'm just gonna say, do you know what the danger is of the Etihad Stadium? It's right next to the bloody canal, isn't it? You know what I mean?
So you might be...
If it's a hot day and we throw the game away, I might just go for a swim and not come out.
Yeah, there won't be a post-match on Sunday. We'll be on a search for Rob in the Manchester Canal. I'm just... I've come out today and do you know what? We're looking at the penalty. We're looking at that penalty and we've gone back to emotions and wish it and everything else gone.
I am allowed to be furious at Mahrez because I have never seen City beat Liverpool at Anfield and he fucking missed the penalty.
Yeah, I know. And I was exactly the same. Me and Millard sat there in Anfield and I thought, I'm going to get hit by the ball when it comes back down, went on the way back to the car park. Listen, I was the exact same. When Liverpool were fucking throwing five fingers up at us. I get it. I totally get it. But I'm just of the occasion. I think when you look back tomorrow and you've had a few days to think about it, you'll look back and go, do you know what? We played pretty shit in about 60% of that game today and we've got away with a 2-2. Do you know what? I'll give you a little fact. Out of, I think there's 59 times, something like that, City have gone 2-0 down in games. You know how many they come back to win? 0 of them.
That's not true.
No, apparently it is. In 59 games, when we've gone 2-0 down, we haven't come back to win. We've come back to draw, we haven't come back to win.
We went 2-1 down in 2012.
Yeah, I mean 2-0. 2 straight goals gone. We normally don't win.
We went 2-0 down against Liverpool.
When?
Or was it 3-0 down?
3-0 down in the Champions League. Remember, they were 3-0 in like 20 seconds. Remember, we were totally in the game, and then we were totally out the game, and it was like,
but whatever.
What?
Listen, Martin. You know what? I get it. Point out today. Listen. The bare minimum. This is the thing. Let's all have a celebration. Yeah, everyone get your party hats on. The bare minimum today. This is the problem with today because the bare minimum from today
was a point. We've got it, and we got it because of the penalty.
And we got it because we didn't get the free. So we're just being greedy. We're being greedy, modern plastic City fans. That's what me and Martin are.
I meant in the Premier League, Jack. I know one was in the FA Cup, one was in the Champions League, in the Premier League.
We're being greedy. We're greedy City fans. See, Scotty Moll again. Bang on, mate. I'm with you. The substitutions. Just bring someone on. Bring Ilkay Gundogan on for 10 minutes for buggery's sake.
Can I ask a question? Fernandinho against Villa. Do you do it or do you just go screw?
We haven't got a choice.
What about Ake? Where's Ake suddenly disappeared to?
He's not fit. Apparently he's not fit.
Well, Fernandinho ain't fit, Rob.
No, that's he waffling now.
I'm not.
Fernandinho is match fit. Nathan Ake isn't. If you take the... Right, Martin, do you learn from what City do? In the last 3 weeks,
Yes.
What have we done? We started an unfit Walker. What happened?
Yes, I know. We've gambled.
No, just answer my question.
Unfit Walker out for the season. Unfit Stones out for the season.
There you go. So we've not got a choice. Unless we start calling up Mbete and the other kids, Egan Riley and all the rest of it. Just deal with it. Deal with it. Fernandinho today made an excellent tackle in the first half against Antonio. You've not mentioned that once.
Oh, it was? No, that was amazing in the first half.
Fernandinho ultimately is not the reason they scored 2
No.
goals.
What I'm saying is, listen, Fernandinho after 70 minutes was gone. That was my worry. That's what I said. I'd have took Fernandinho off after 70.
You're saying after a 37-year-old was knackered after 70 minutes.
Yeah, I expect that.
No shit, Sherlock. Bring the substitute on.
Exactly.
No,
you're spot on. Pep didn't want to do it. And it was... I don't understand Pep. Pep is the first one to bitch and moan about substitutions. And then goes, nah, forget it. And I said it, I go back to Phil Foden. Last time we played West Ham, we were 1-0 down and we were shocking at half time. He brought on Phil Foden. Foden scores and he runs the game and gets man of the match. It's just, you look, and I'm starting to notice this a lot. He does it with Jesus. Jesus plays certain games against certain opponents every year, all year, every year. You go back to Liverpool, who always starts against Liverpool? Jesus. Who always generally doesn't always play against West Ham? Foden. It's really weird what Pep does. But if you actually go through it, he literally has certain plays for certain teams. I don't know why he does it. I need to sit back and properly study this and go, right, why does he do what he does? But he literally has certain players for certain opponents. And he'll play them every single year. Jesus has played every game against Liverpool. You don't see him then the rest of the fucking season.
I don't think understanding Manc accents is your strong suit, is it, really?
Mine?
Not yours, pal. Not yours.
All right.
You've got that Glodic accent, mate.
That isn't only sounding Glodic, trust me.
Well, we don't go there. Well, you do. You
Jack,
live there.
we are not going to bottle it against Villa.
Anyway, yeah, so let's all enjoy Tuesday with a sick bag and a bucket of popcorn.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Southampton turn Liverpool over.
Come on.
I'm going to say it. Have Liverpool just played 120 minutes?
Yeah, great.
Salaries injured.
They've also got 500. Martin, all right, there's something you've got to remember about Liverpool. 63% of their squad have got asthma inhalers. I mean steroids. I mean asthma.
Oh, sorry, but how many
hold
players?
Hold on, let me finish. They took the entire month of December off.
Yeah.
And they've got a squad a third larger than ours.
Can't score against Chelsea in 200 minutes.
Well, that's not my fault.
I'm just saying, this thing of Liverpool are going to dance up to St Mary's and stick 19 past them. Come on. It's not FIFA. We're not playing generic FIFA football. I'm not saying they won't. I'm not saying they're not going to win. But they'll win like 2-1, 3-1. They're not going to bang 19 past Southampton. I'm sorry. It's just not there. And trust me now, this time next week, well, it won't be this time next week, because this time next week will only be at half time, because it's 4 p.m. kickoff next week. There you go. Virgil van Dijk, yeah, might be out. Let's just all relax. And then we win the title, and then we can sit back and go, Haaland.
Don't say it.
I'm not saying anything. Go on.
When the name is engraved in the trophy, then celebrate for 5 minutes, and then we move on to the next one.
Yeah, we don't do a Liverpool and rub it in everyone's faces for 25 years. Don't do that.
It takes them over 30 to win one, doesn't it? So
is that why they gloat for ages?
Can't drag it out.
Enjoy it. It's gonna just listen. I expect everyone to be nervous next week. If you are not nervous next week, you are not a City fan. Trust me now.
Nervous when we're 5-0 up, Martin.
Exactly. You will be nervous next week.
What do you make? Oh, by the way, what's his face? Mark Noble. Congratulations on a lovely career, Mark Noble. You've been a great servant to the club of West Ham, and I'm sure that you will truly be appreciated forever. Even if your name is not up in the lights of silverware, it certainly will be in the memories of anyone who appreciates loyal club men.
Yeah, and he's never been one after money.
I just hope that Declan Rice hates Chelsea and wants to play for City for 20 quid a week.
Question, what do you think of him today? I thought he was very quiet.
No, you say that, but
maybe I missed it.
Doing, well, see, this is the problem. You think that Rodri's a DM when he plays number 8, so you don't actually know what a DM is or should do.
Yes, I do know what a DM is.
Declan Rice played DM, and he made some crucial blocks and crucial interceptions. Declan Rice is a DM, defensive midfielder. Rodri is a dick muncher. I don't know.
Oh dear.
Dancing moose.
Let's move on that one. Let's really move on that one. Your man of the match for City.
He's got 100% passing accuracy, Rodri. Yeah, because he does a 3-yard sideways pass. Woo!
Who was your man of the match for us? Who was the guy you thought?
Us?
Yeah.
Gabriel Jesus. And I'll tell you why, and that's wild and out of the blue, but
yeah, it is. You're going to say work rate?
I just think work rate in the first half. The work rate in the first half. When you see someone on the pitch who's still putting in a shift, even though you're shambolic, it might inspire you to try harder in the second half. And I just think that Gabriel Jesus' work rate in the first half. And I also could have thrown Jack Grealish in there a little bit because Jack Grealish was actually doing what Jack Grealish isn't.
He is my man of the match.
Whoa.
Sorry,
Yeah,
but he is.
You're impressed by shiny objects.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. But you've just said it. Grealish, for the first time all season, did what he was bought for. That today is what we bought him for. That was the Grealish at Villa. Run, cause problems. I mean, how Gerard Bowen didn't get sent off today, I do not know.
Who's Gerard Bowen? Are you saying that because we're playing against Steven Gerrard's team next week?
No, it's called Gerard Bowen, isn't it? Jarrod. Jared, sorry. Is it Jared? I thought it was Gerard. Jared Bowen. He should have been off.
Just imagine if he's Australian.
I mean, how many bloody free kicks did Grealish do? And he scored. So I think Grealish has had that many bleeding downers at Manchester City. I think we've just got to say, you know what? Today he did turn up. I'll tell you the worst player on the pitch was Mahrez. Sorry, I know I might get every Mahrez fanboy coming at me.
I had to check that he was actually on the pitch in the first half, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I thought he was awful. But Mahrez has been awful the last sort of month and a bit. So what I would say is Mahrez already checked out?
Yeah, all these people throwing Zinchenko under a bus because they think that he played the West Ham players on side.
No, it's because he played musical statues. No, he did have lead boots. I said that at the watch along. He didn't jump on, but I'm not going to blame Zinchenko for that. Here's my worry for that is don't stick 5'8" players against 6'5" players and then expect to out jump them. Doesn't work.
Cancelo, he was pretty shy.
But he doesn't fucking jump anyway. Or bleeding defend. That's Cancelo. That's what he does.
It's his highlight reel. Doesn't jump, doesn't defend, and 1 in 60 games he'll put a ball in the box.
So maybe, like you say, we move Zinchenko to CDM and we buy a left back in the summer. But that's another time for another stream and another day when we go through our summer analysis and everything else. It's just the way it is.
So also Edison should have saved their second.
Yeah, and I think he's got away with some today. I think he's got away with a lot of criticism today, Edison. I mean, go back to the Laporte Edison.
You're not allowed to dig Edison out though, Martin, right? Because he's got good distribution apparently.
I mean, I don't agree. Jack said something earlier. Sign another goal. No, wouldn't work in a Pep team. Edison is perfect in a Pep team. What you need to do is work on his distribution. There's no other goalkeeper out there that has got his distribution and be a shot stopper. You're just not going to get them. You're not going to get an Oblak or a Neuer or whatever. Yeah? I mean, this summer's going to be an interesting one. I mean, who would have thought Lewandowski was going out to buy him?
I'm just hoping, Martin, that next season, Haaland just has to stand, outside the 18-yard box, and Edison will just put the ball to his feet from goal kicks, or whatever.
I honestly think, with Grealish on the left and Sterling on the right and Foden through the middle next year, I think Haaland's going to have a fucking field day.
Where does Kevin De Bruyne play?
10.
He just had Foden through the middle. Anyway, you're talking about next year.
KDB is 10 and Foden behind him. Is what I think. Foden is the 8.
Is Haaland going to play then?
Haaland is 9. You would have to change the formation slightly.
You're literally all talking about the same position there, Martin.
No, I know. I'm working on a different formation. Anyway, we'll walk through that in the summertime. But Edison, perfect for Manchester City, but he needs work. He needs work because today wasn't just a saving. Go back to the Laporte back pass.
Well, that was fun and games.
I don't know if Edison didn't talk to him or whether Laporte just went. Yeah,
I think he fell asleep. He falls asleep a lot, man. Edison falls asleep a lot.
But we're bitching and moaning, and we're literally 1 win away from the Champions League, from our 4th title in 5. It is crazy, but you wouldn't have it any other way as a Manchester City fan, would you? You really wouldn't have it any other way as a Manchester City fan. And we'll go there on Sunday. We'll have all the nerves. and everything else, and we'll sit there and you'll get pissed or you'll be nervous as hell. Martin will go and spend $6.50 on a cheese toaster. Whatever you want to do.
Martin, Andrews just said something there. The Fernandinho pass back was a bad one. I agree. There was about 3 or 4 different players did the same little weird back pass.
I think it was tiredness.
Fernandinho did it, Cancelo did it, Rodri did it, and one more did it. It might have been Bernardo. No, but this was in the first half, Martin. 2 of those were in the first half.
Are you saying it's the pitch? Oh, it's Edison asking for that.
No, actually, the pitch looked perfect, if I'm honest. The pitch actually looked like it was a slick pitch, which is what you want.
Is that Edison asking for him too much, then?
I don't know.
Because as you know, how many times do you get keepers going, come back, give an option. They always say it, because Pep always says, I tell you why it could be. What does Pep always say? What the Manchester City always say? When there's nothing on, when there are no options, say they're going down the right-hand side and there's no option.
I didn't say it was tiredness. I said tiredness, question mark.
Yeah.
Implied.
But what does Pep say to him? If there's nothing down the right, go back to Edison and go down the left. If there's nothing down the left, go back to Edison, go down the right. That's what he does. Start again. Because there's a key to that. We keep all the possession. Once Edison then has the ball, it is either, like Rob said, big punt over the top, so you get an Aguero like at Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final, or you go down the other side, the other flanks. Today, Rob was spot on. We were too narrow. We didn't use the width. Far too narrow. In fact, I would say that's the narrowest we've played in...
It was very narrow. It was
20
weird.
games?
It was weird. It
20
was
games?
almost anorexic. It was that narrow, Martin.
Would you say we've been that narrow for a long time?
No. One of my favourite people on Twitter, Ivor. A lot of you people know who Ivor is, and he hates half of you because you're not from Manchester. He said, I will repeat what I said a couple of weeks ago. Away from the Etihad, Gundogan must always start. Don't care who loses their place. He's number 1 on the sheet for me.
All right, let's talk about that Gundogan. Was he missed today? Would he have given us more control? Because think about it.
Do you know what the main accusation against Gundogan is?
Too slow.
He's too slow. Okay, But you telling me that first half was played at a high tempo? Because it
no.
wasn't.
Okay, then tell me where Gundogan does with them 2 balls over the top. Because Gundogan ain't jumping for them headers.
Nobody defended those anyway.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We've got 5-foot midgets in the middle anyway. Yes, there's only Rodri.
He would have been pressing. He would have been pressing the ball so they can't get them.
Yeah, but Bernardo pressed. Bernardo pressed on the header. He just
he's so deep. No. I'm not talking about pressing the header. I'm talking about pressing the pass. That's what our number 8 should have been doing.
Oh, so like the ball over the top from Antonio, the one from Farnell's, that just went dink, dink, ping. Yeah, no, I get you. No, yeah, that's fair. What you're saying is stop that ball coming over the top in the first place, in the middle. So as soon as Fabianski's played the ball, they bring the ball down, but we're on them straight away.
Absolutely, them. That's what we normally do.
Did we pay too much respect to West Ham?
I don't even know. I just think tiredness.
You just said we can't use that for 25 minutes.
I didn't say we couldn't use it. I'm just saying, I think ultimately when you draw a conclusion that tiredness is absolutely a factor. But Liverpool have played and are going to be playing every game they can possibly play in this season, even though they've got a way bigger squad than us, and they are absolutely doping like Leicester City.
And Aston Villa play on Thursday night against a Burnley that are literally desperate for points. So I think there's one more. Everyone's hoping there's another twist. But I just think City go there on Sunday, rock it down and absolutely nail it. Can I just say there's nearly 80 people on. Thank you so much. Can you give it a thumbs up? That'd be brilliant. It's free. And also subscribe. We don't ask you for any super chats, anything on this channel. We don't ask you for anything like that. The only thing we ask you for is your support by subscribing. That is all we do. You've seen the magnificent graphics and the Mancunian Way studio that Rob has put together. So please, we're on the road to 1,000. Please show a lot of love and get us to 1,000. And there's a lot more to come. But Manchester City drew 2-2. Rob, in conclusion, mate, have you got anything you want to add?
I need a nap before the 20 later.
Do you want to tell all our ladies and gentlemen about that?
The 20's back tonight, 9:30, YouTube.
That's going to be the best leading ever. So 20's back tonight, 9:30, YouTube. Yes.
It's because it's the penultimate. We would have done the 20 every weekend, but we can't because there's all sorts of gone on in the last couple of weeks, so we've just not been available. But it's the penultimate Premier League weekend. We've obviously not watched any of the 2:00 kickoffs, so I'm now going to try and cram in watching those games as well as the second half of the Everton game.
Yeah.
Come on, Everton! I'm desperate for Everton to stay in the Premier League. I don't give a fuck if Leeds United get binned off. If we can relegate 4 teams and Burnley and Leeds can both go down, that'd be wonderful.
And still win the title. And then Liverpool get beat at Madrid in Paris. Hey, and then he's still got to watch Rangers win on Wednesday night against who was it playing? Who's it playing?
Eintracht Frankfurt.
Eintracht Shitfurt.
Eintracht Flat Track Bulletford.
Say that 3 times when you've had a beer. Everyone, thank you for joining us. Please give it a thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Leave your comments. We reply to every single comment. Ask Michael Feener. We reply to everything and we love reading his comments. Big thank you.
They're not comments from Michael Feeney. They're like Tolkien novels. I love reading them.
Essays.
Michael Feeney should have a dissertation in YouTube comments.
Stephen Dempster.
And I'm not saying that in a horrible way. I absolutely love the stuff that Michael Feeney puts. I really
Until I get
it.
Rob texting me. He's put another one. Reply. Right, okay. Rob literally looks out for Michael Phoenix. But he's a superstar. And all Blues are all over the world, whether you're in Manchester, Dublin or wherever. I hope you're going to have a fantastic weekend. Stephen Dempster, you might not always agree with everything we say or we agree with you, but thank you so much. That is a superb comment. We're trying. We are trying, mate, and that's all we can do. But you saying Best City channel on YouTube is amazing. And City M City and other people who found us today from the old channel, thank you. Share it around. Let your friends and family know that we are here. And me and Rob are still around. We've not gone anywhere. Rob will be back at 9:30 tonight on YouTube for the 20.
Rich. With Cal Blundell if he's not in the bin if Everton lose. And with a special guest from Canada, a guy that you really should extend open arms to because he is a modern fan. He is a foreign fan.
Yeah.
But he actually cares about the club before 2008. Shock.
And he loves my motto. Respect the past to embrace the future. Thinks it's spot on. And that's the way it is. So if anyone waffle merchants who want to say, we don't embrace the new fans. Yes, we do. We always have done. And we always will do.
No, not fact. When they become obnoxious like United fans, then I'll fuck them all off. But until then.
Yeah. Give Rob a big praise. Without Rob, this channel, look at the graphics. And Rob spends hours doing this for us. And you guys, you ladies, I nearly said the wrong word there.
Yeah, that's right. Vader. Big Morgan, have you been onto Vader's channel? Me and Vader have done 2 episodes so far.
Oh, 2?
Yeah, we've done 2 episodes.
Whoa.
Shut up, Martin. When I push my other agenda of a show called Home and Away, it's me and Vader Games. The first episode was all about the Champions League, and the second episode was all about what it takes to be a Mancunian or what it means to be a Mancunian and why we are the way we are. I seriously recommend you go and give them a listen. I know that I'm not the most popular guy, and I know that people fucking hate me when I waffle on or when we have conflicting opinions or whatever, but I do love Manchester City, and I've loved Manchester City for 40 years. So it's an education for me because I'm trying to understand where Vader's coming from, and it's an education for Vader because he's trying to understand where I'm coming from. Give it a listen. You won't regret it. Bye, everybody.
Are you double dipping?
In my horizons, Martin. Last time I was on a fan channel, I was fighting journalists, and nobody liked that. You know, so at least I'm trying to make friends this time round.
Oh, why am I not on this channel? I need to get over on Vader. Me and Vader need a word. Anyway, yeah, thank you all so much. Go and give Vader Games a lot of love. Rob and him have done some magnificent stuff. No,
Big Morgan, the last thing that you just said, although I'm not allowed to say it because Martin gets upset when I say it.
No.
The last thing you said about the last person you said about fact.
I'm not doing it. We're not starting a war.
If you want to see me on screen, go back to the Man City Fan TV in about 2018-19. I was on screen quite a lot.
And funnily enough, some Scouse dickheads were booing the national anthem then as well. Fact. Anyway, take care. Have a great Sunday. Rob will be back later with his entourage. I will see you all soon. Thank you for joining us. Manchester City gain a point at West Ham. Yes, it is gained because we were 2-0 down, remember. We march onto a packed, sold-out Etihad next week where we will hopefully bring home title number 4 out of 5. See you all later on. 9:05. Take care.
I just need to remind the audience one last time, Martin.
Go on.
The football team that we all support is Manchester City because it represents the city of Manchester. The LBGTQ nightclub that you go to on Canal Street is called Man City because that's where you find a hot date for the weekend. Bye.